is up, guys? It is Uncle Bob, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back, y'all. How's it going? We are here to continue our live replay of Advance Wars, and I have been craving this game all day. And I actually am getting to play a little bit earlier than I normally do. Normally, I don't get to play this early. Usually, I have to kind of wait till it's like 10, 11 p.m. My time. And right now it is 7:27. It is early right now. So it's nice. The woman, the kids are all out for a couple hours, and they're apparently being a giant set of pain in the asses. So most likely they're going to come in here and mess up all of the vibes. So well, that's probably because they didn't get to run around a lot today because their mom decided to take them right as I had gotten up from a nap and was about to I was getting them ready to go to just take them to a fucking, they actually have a Burger King that has a a little playland. So I was going to take them there just to let them just find a couple kids, run off some energy, just, do what kids do. And yeah, as soon as I got there, she had come home. I wasn't expecting her to. I thought she was still at her cleaning job, but apparently she had a friend of hers pass away, or not, the friend passed away, sorry. A friend had an aunt who passed away, and she was going to go over and, I guess my stepson, like, she's known this friend long enough that, like, he knows her and everything, so went to take them. And yeah, that was prime goblin hour. So, yeesh. Oh well. Hope everyone's doing all right. Hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday. I don't get to start off drunk today. I've been doing, like, the last 3 weeks I did it while I was pretty toasted. And today that will not be the case. Which I know, disappointing. I want to make sure that, I am better than the AI, even under altering, you know what I'm talking about. One sec. One sec. Sorry, I don't want to cough right into that microphone, you know what I'm saying? Doing some adult things that are completely legal in the state of Illinois. So don't you worry about it. But yeah, we're just gonna enjoy some of the Saturday night vibes while I got the chance here. I'm probably still not gonna, hop to it. I like to take 15 minutes or so beforehand. I like to, chill, play the game, and then probably chill for 15 minutes after. It's what I do. It's what I do. Eventually, I'll have people to interact with, which, it'll happen every once in a while. First, I gotta become somebody, which is, not exactly easy when you're playing old fucking video games that, let's face it, not very many people are out there like, oh, let's play Advance Wars. And you know what? That's a good thing. Oh, it's good that this just gets to be like a nice little hobby, just a little way for me to vent, relax. Actually, one of the reasons I started doing this channel at all, like 4 years ago now, was because when I was growing up, almost dropped my phone. I had probably, if I had to guess, I probably had at least like 40 different NES games, 30 Super NES games, like 25 to 30 N64 games, like 30 GameCube games, 30 PS2 games. Between my Game Boy, like the old Game Boy games, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, between all those, I had another like 30 games. And then, I would eventually get a Wii and a 360. Like, I had so many systems when I was younger. A lot of them were like inherited from family, like the older systems, because I was born in 1990. So like the Super NES was the Super NES out yet in 90, or maybe it was 91. I forget. But a lot of them I got from family, but just I got so many of their games, and I was criminal at not finishing games. I never finished video games. I would get like 5 minutes into something, and not 5 minutes. That's way too exaggerative. I would get 25 to 50% through a game, and I would get bored and then start playing something else. And then I would run through a rotation of games where I would do basically the exact same thing from, and uh, Pro Penguino, what is up? Um, yeah, I would just have a rotation of games, and I would eventually come back to a game like 4 months later, and I couldn't just play the game back where I started. I had to start back from the beginning for some stupid reason. So because of all that, would just I would just not finish. I couldn't finish games. Like the amount of games I finished growing up, I could really, really like. I beat a lot of like the Zelda games were some of the few games that I never got bored of enough to quit them halfway through. But even it still happened with them from time to time. But other than that, yeah, anything. Your Final Fantasies, your um, most of the Mario games, Secret of Mana, all those kinds of games, Chrono Trigger, all of them. I would just get a good chunk into, and then I would just kind of lose interest, and I would get bored. So how that leads to this channel is that having something where I have to, like, I stopped gaming for like 3, 4 years, like pretty consistently. I just didn't play video games anymore. And I really wanted a way to play video games, but I also wanted to actually beat video games. So I decided to kind of pick this up as a weird little hobby because then it would help me. It just helped get like it dedicated me to just play. Every day play 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 25 minutes, just enough to relax. What is up, Alexander? Um, no, it was just like it's just unwind time. It's just fun. It's just relaxing. And only having like now, I play this on Saturday nights. This is a bit of a special game for me to play. Um, but other than that, right now I only got 2 games that I'm going through. Funny that all 3 of the games I'm playing right now um, are Game Boy Advance games, which I didn't really plan on. That's just kind of the way it ended up. But now instead of having 150 games at my disposal that I can just pick and choose from whatever I want, now that I'm only really playing 2 games at a time, it helps dedicate me to actually finishing games. Which is funny that, in 20 years, of gaming, before I stopped for a while, I have beaten more games here now on this channel than I ever beat as a kid. And I don't even know how many that is. Like, I don't know how many I've beaten. It's definitely a good amount, but I mean, beating the original 3 Final Fantasies, obviously only one that was originally meant for America, released in America, beating Dragon Warrior, beating beating 2 of the old Mana games, beating the 3 Enix trilogy games, Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, or Illusion of Time if you're from Europe, and also playing Terranigma, and beating that. I've gotten to beat more games than I really did growing up, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I beat this game. I mean, this is, as it says in the title, this is a replay of this game. Uh, the only I lost that train of thought. Whatever. But no, like I'm replaying this game. I I I am thinking of possibly playing this game twice. I have not decided yet if when I get to the end of this again, if I'm going to redo it and try to do all of the missions that I didn't do the first time, because I found out that there was, I the first time I played, I don't know if I knew beforehand, but I soon realized there were branching paths. And I didn't know that there was a secret mission if you beat all of those, but that is actually really good to know because I may actually play through this twice just for that. I don't know yet. I don't know if I'll just want to move straight on to Advance Wars 2. Well, actually, no, I forgot. I'm not just doing the campaign. I'm also going to be doing the War Room. So I can't pretend. No, 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 no. I can't pretend that the campaign is all I'm going to do. I have heard that the War Room missions are supposed to be, I heard, supposedly, are harder than the actual game. So I'm hoping that's the case. Is it time for me to drink? Ooh, it is basically time for me to, let's finish this whiskey dram. Another. Let's load this bad boy up. Yeah, I have decided that I am at some point. Ooh, I am some point at some point in the future. I am going to buy a $2,000 bottle of whiskey, and I'm going to do it with all the money that I get from donating plasma. Because booze, I try to make sure I don't use real money for my fun. I try to keep pleasure money from extra things I do, like donating plasma. So I try not to use like money that I get from work. Money for my bills, for my house, for food, for the kids, for everything. I try to make sure that money doesn't get spent on my vices. But I think I'm gonna try to not just stick to cheap whiskeys. I want to try using this money to save up a little bit and maybe enjoy some of the finer things in life. Except I would also like to make people mad and take like $2,000 bottles of whiskey, pouring a glass and then pouring Coke in it, and just to see who it makes mad. Because people are always going to be mad when you do shit like that. Not really for any good reason, but they will. Now, I guess it's different when you have your own bottle, but definitely don't ruin your alcohol if you go out and buy it at a bar, especially if you're drinking whiskey, because um, they will upcharge you real hard if you go out and drink. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. They will charge you basically like 20%, 30% of a bottle for like one drink. Even something inexpensive bottle, like your Johnny Walker Blue Label. That's at like a Benny's. That's $200 where I live. But if you go to a bar and you get yourself just a drink of it, if they have it, they're gonna charge you like $40 for it. That's that's 20% of the bottle, or yeah, 20% right there, like just in one drink. Which these bottles can normally yield you like about 15 drinks, maybe a little bit more. Uh, yeah, just don't listen. I'm not saying drinking alcohol is even a good thing, but if you are, do it in a way that is wise for your pocketbooks. I don't know how we got onto this conversation, but this just shows what happens when we get a little loopy. We enjoy the kids not being here for a couple minutes. All right, but it is time to get started. Let me mute the mic real quick. All right. I guess there's not really much reason for me to mute it for this. I've done it before. I guess just normally I'm in a state of mind where I don't care as much. All right, let's get it started. We are here with Field Training Mission 4 Unit Repair. This mission will explain the join command and discuss basic strategy. I think that creep Olaf, CO Olaf, is starting to take us seriously. But all our commanders are caught up in other campaigns, so there's no one available to lead the Orange Star army against him. Jackal, it looks like it's up to you to defend Orange Star. Let me brief you on the current mission. Our troops en route to the Lost Fortress have been waylaid by Olaf. It's up to you to join up with them. Beat back Olaf and secure the area. We need the last fortress. Move out. Unit repair. Mission 4. All right. It has been enough time gagging and lollying. That is... There were definitely better ways to say lollygagging than that. Woof. Woof. Okay. Olaf has his bases covered. It looks like he understands the importance of holding this area. Almost all of our units heading for the Lost Fortress have been eliminated. There are only 2 tank units left of the original contingent. We must repair them in order to have any hopes of winning here. So first, let's pull those 2 units back here and patch them up. Will you select this tank unit, please? To repair a unit, just move it to an allied city or a secure base. This tank unit can make it to the city. Please move it here. Alright, I don't know why I can't speak right now. Good, that's right. This tank unit will now recover 2 HP every turn it stays here. Okay, now let's withdraw this tank too. Would you select it, please? I would have just joined them already. I don't know what this game wants me to do. I may have just done that in the forest. I'd like to repair this unit now, but there's no safe place within its movement range. There's nothing we can do about that. Let's get it as close to the city as possible and begin repairs next turn. Would you move it here, please? Oh, okay. So it's going to want me. Okay, I see what it wants me to do. Then just put one of the mechy boys right over on the woods. Give them some cover and maybe join up again if I have to. That's right. Thank you. But we can't stop there, can we? The unit's still vulnerable to attack from the enemy's tank unit. Place the cursor on a unit and press the B button to check its attack range. If the area it can fire upon will appear in red. Everything hurts being middle-aged. Well, what to do now? How about giving it a little assistance? Let's deploy the other units around it to prevent it from being attacked. This technique is called building a defensive wall. Thanks, lady. Our available units are this mech unit should do nicely. Did I read that wrong? Move it here and create a defensive wall. There. Now the unit is safe from enemy attack. Enemy units can't cross allied lines and vice versa. You can see why a defensive wall is such an effective strategic tool. This mech unit will come under fire, but it should be able to hold a turn. Since we have 2 mech units, we should be okay for 2 days. So move the mech units up and then deploy the infantry as you like. Press end when you're finished. Alright, move them up. Move them up, move them up, move them up. Cool. Aha! The Orange Star forces have arrived. It looks like the group that's been giving me trouble, too. But they don't even have one decent tank unit with them. I've nothing to fear from these ragged fools. Prepare to be routed. Routed and grouted. Kaboom. Nice amounts of very minimal damage. The enemy's closing in, but the tanks need more time to repair. Even regaining 2 HP per day, we're not going to be ready in time. It looks like we'll have to join these 2 units together. Please select this tank unit. You wanted this one? Oh. There we go. You did it. The units have been merged. When 2 units join, they combine their HP. Of course, now there's only 1 unit, but I know that 2 units may seem better than 1 at most times. But running around with low HP is very risky. I recommend using join when you feel it's necessary. I'm going to leave the rest of this mission to you. Do you want some strategic advice? Might as well talk to me, lady. The tank unit will have full HP and be ready to go on the next turn. First, use your mech and tank units to destroy the enemy tanks. If your mech units take too much damage, use join and merge them. If you can just get rid of Olaf's tank units, you'll surely win. As long as you keep your HQ from being seized, you can't lose. You can also win by capturing the enemy's HQ, but it'll be faster to defeat all of the enemy units. Good luck. That's exactly what the game wants right there. Kaboom. All right, pull them all up. You run, coward. I'm so nervous, Nell. Come on. Why are you looking like that? You know better. Wow, are you serious? What a dumb set of decisions to make. Trash AI. Trash AI. Blow this guy away. I love the animations in these games. It's like, it is for real a majority of the reason why I play. Or why I like these games. Alright, You know what, might as well take the advantage of being... I have the high ground, Anakin. Alright. Unfortunately, I think I just doomed that infantry. That was just... Wow, what? 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 This is a set of decisions. I mean, I guess it's going to kill it with that other unit. I'm... I'm confused. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. No. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. Can you pick up the W? Can you do it? Can you do it? Ah, he did it. He did it. My man. I will have had basically no technique points. Even with 0 defense. And now we just sweep through them, baby. Bring that one solo guy just around for no reason. Let's start capturing that city. Just because. Just because. Mm. I'm gonna do the same amount. I would have just been probably taken down to 4 instead of knocked even. So we'll take it. Capture the building. No, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. Boo. Oh well, just blow them away. I captured a building. I'm happy enough. Boom. The Blue Moon forces have retreated. Capturing this area was vital to our strategy. You did a great job. Keep up the good work. Nell? So she does have her hand in this. That explains why this little group has been such unexpected trouble. This is unforgivable. Next time I will give them a split of my true might. Alright, bro. Alright. Of course someone tried calling. Alright. One sec. No, I can't. Oh. Oh, wait, no, I think that's the missed call that I had at the beginning. Oh, wow. Still, go figure. After everything that I said, it is always speed. It is always speed. It is always fucking speed. No matter what I do, that is always the one that is lagging behind. Power, technique, I'm usually not losing too many guys. I'm usually doing a good job routing the enemy. I'm usually fine. Outstanding, Jackal, you won. All right. And cool. That is it. All right. Luckily, it seems like from just looking at the stream on my own device and everything, it looks like everything has been running pretty well. So I've been happy with how everything's gone so far as like the quality, because when I used to try streaming before, I used to do it parked out in my car on the street, like right next to my apartment, which is not really an apartment. It's like I calling it a triplex sounds like a fake word, but it's a real word, like, I promise. But it's like a house unit that has, it's like a townhome, like just 3 units in it. And where our all of our internet boxes, all that stuff is on the side of the house, right next to, like, right next to the street. So I used to be able to just park my car there and play, and everything was fine. And I don't know what happened. Something changed at some point, and all of a sudden the service was jank. It caused like some other streaming attempts with other games just fall flat, and I'm not gonna lie, I was just losing hope in the quality, like, that just like I know this is never gonna be a thing that is gonna like pop off. Like, it's Advance Wars for the Game Boy Advance. I'm not playing, you know, the things that are hot and fresh. So, but I still want it to be at very least watchable at some point. Like, just is that okay? Like, watchable? Like, can we get that? So, um, normally I still usually park in my car. I'm just in my driveway where my signal still reaches and everything has been okay. But today, because it's a special day and everyone is out of the house and I don't have to worry about having low self-esteem and sounding stupid. It's not like anybody would care. Like, I'm just doing the same thing I always do. Just talking shit to the video game I'm playing. And I should oh, I shouldn't be weird about it, but I am. So, plus it's usually late. Oh no. I poured a little too much alcohol too quickly and spilled it on my hands. But you know what? You can mix that shit in, make some friction, and you can smell things off of it. That was a tip I actually heard to help me get me, like, to appreciate whiskey, like, for real. Being able to, because I heard for years, like, I enjoyed whiskey because I knew there was something there that I liked and I couldn't tell what it always was. And I used to hear when people would talk about, smelling, like, oh, hints of this and notes of that. I used to honestly think they were just completely full of shit. I could taste differences in the different whiskeys, but I never got, like, the notes of anything. And then I heard somebody say, mix some in your hand. Like, most times when you when you pour, there's going to be a little bit of spillage, a little bit of bloop, bloop. So take what usually spills on your hands, instead of wiping it off, rub your hands together, and then just smell your hands and smell the different things that, like, the alcohol is actually giving off with friction. And my favorite whiskey, it's been my favorite whiskey for more than 10 years. It's called Monkey Shoulder. It's cheap, and for Scotch, it's not like most people, when they think of, like, Scotch whiskeys, they think of, like, real smoky flavor, real burny. And, like, it's alcohol. It still burns. Like, I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. But, my favorite was always a lot smoother. And yeah, one day I just did that after remembering it, and all of a sudden I had smelled things that I had just never smelled with regards to the whiskey before, and it blew my fucking mind. And yeah, it has basically helped me start appreciating it more. Like, I already liked it. It was almost like, you know what it was, before I could appreciate it and still liking it. You know what it's like? It's like being a kid, and, like, of my age, like, I was born in 1990. So I remember being like 9 years old, 10 years old, and I remember quite religiously watching King of the Hill. And as a young kid, like, I don't know if this was everybody who was around my age group. I don't know if this was everyone's vibe. Like, I would watch it with my parents. My parents loved it, but now that I'm an adult, I understand why they loved it. But for me, it was just one of those shows where I watched it and I never found it funny, but like I knew there was something funny about it that like I just wasn't quite getting. And obviously, as you get older and you understand, the kind of tropes that the show is making fun of, on every angle, you know, you get to be older and you appreciate it in that light. But when you're a kid, at least for me, I was just like, there's something about this show. This show is hilarious, and I don't know why. And it took me, a few more years to figure out why. It felt like forever, but that's because, 4 years when you're young feels like forever. But I'm glad we got 3 missions down. At least nothing was more embarrassing than last week. I know getting a B rank on one of the field training missions is hilarious. And, I was just insistent on blowing away every tank that Olaf had, because I feel like that training mission's main goal is to get you to capture the HQ. Because, I mean, it's called base capture. And I remember the last time I had tried playing that mission, just goofing around. I had tried killing it's like 4 tanks, and you have 2 mech units. And I was like, no, I need to destroy all of the tanks. And I did it, and I don't think I lost anyone doing it. But boy, oh boy, did my speed take a hit. But, it's not too surprising. I remember looking up my actual statistics for when I beat the game last time. And I had a pretty solid, all across the board, B average. I think it was all Bs, with the exception of a couple A's, like scattered here and there throughout. I don't think I had any C's. I don't think I had any low grades. Maybe I did. If I did, it was like 1. I felt like I had done worse. And then when I actually looked it up, I was like, oh, actually, I didn't do too bad. I'm not going to sit here and, as evident by me getting a B rank in a field training, I am not going to be hunting A ranks. Or I think in the campaign you can also get S ranks. I'm not doing that. Leave that for like people like Mangs and people who are actually smart and good at these games, because I'm not. I'm just average. Maybe one day I will not be. Maybe I will play so much, because I do want to play not just all of these games. I do also want to play the shoo fly, don't bother me. I want to play all of the Advance Wars games, and then I do want to jump basically right back into playing Fire Emblem. But I actually do want to invest in these games, because they always just look so much fun. And I mean, they look fun for Jesus. They look fun and enjoyable for all the reasons that I found Fire Emblem to be enjoyable. I don't even remember how many missions I made it in that game anymore. But, through failing at streaming that game, here I am with this one. And not that it's a downgrade or an upgrade, but, I am ready to not just play this game, but, play through the series. Damn, I smacked the shit out of that fly, and he's still going. Whoa, there are 3 flies. Where did these flies come from? What is going on here? My girl is right. I'm getting distracted right now, but she said they were flying in through somewhere. And there's 3 of these motherfuckers in here. So I'm going to have to figure out where they're crawling in from. It's just flies, but they're annoying as fuck. Listen to their fucking... What I need to find is a fly swatter. Because I've had like a shot and a half of whiskey, and that's not a lot, but as I drink more, that'll make the game even more fun. I will go hunting for these flies. These fucking bastards. But yeah, I'm gonna do this game, and I think even while playing, I think I've decided that I am gonna play through this twice, solely to make sure that I take the other branching paths of missions and I want to do the secret hidden level. I think it's called Rivals, and I haven't looked anything up about it. I just found out what it was, and I was like, oh, I gotta do that. I'm not going through and doing it on advanced mode or any, hardcore shit like that. Again, leave that to the people who are good at this game. But I do want to do secret last missions that are supposedly harder than everything else. I want to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. Luckily, if we keep this curtain for the most part closed, I don't think the flies are smart enough to really make it over here, and they don't really fly too low. Oh! Oh. All right, so what is next week's episode? APC ABCs. That definitely sounds like some Cocoa Melon shit right there. That definitely sounds like some shit I hear on my kids' whatever the fuck they're watching. I keep getting this one commercial, and I don't know, it brings out this side of me that I don't do it. I feel like, oh boy, hello. Oops. Pretend you didn't see that. You didn't see that. I'm not using an emulator, clearly. Obviously I am. I do own this game. I actually do own this game. I don't know where the fuck it is. It's buried with all my games. But I do actually own this game. I own this one and Advance Wars 2. I don't know where my GBAs are. This shit's buried. But no, there's I don't know, it's like Carvera by Mercara. I don't know what it is. I forget what it is every time. But every time I hear it, it just brings out this voice in me. That there used to be this guy, I think he moved to Florida. He wasn't really a part of my friend group, but he was on the other side of one of my best friends' other friend group. And he had this like voice that we used to find was hilarious, that we used to call the ooey ooey. And I never really got to hear him do it because I didn't hang out with him, except for every once in a while. Or there was one time where we were this was maybe in like 2011, and we were all playing I think it was the original Halo. We were all playing like 4-player on my buddy's basement TV. It was like the last time we had all, I don't know if we obviously didn't know it at the time, but it definitely felt like one of those, this is the last time we're all going to be together moments, which it really was. And, but I remember this guy, anytime he would get mad, he would have this voice. We'd be like, dude, his famous one was, dude, what the fuck? And he would just go off. And it almost, like, it sounds like I'm obviously being, like, cartoonish about it. But I had always heard the rumors of how his voice was. And then there was this one time that we all really, 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 really hung together. And we were playing Halo, and my best friend was, he was a Halo, like, he wasn't a competitive player, but he was as good as a normie was ever going to be at those games, basically. And he was just sniping this dude in the head for like 90 seconds straight. And all of a sudden he's like, dude, what the fuck? You know where all the good spawns are. You know exactly where the weapons are. Dude, it's not even fucking fair. And like, and I don't know why. I feel like I need to bring that voice back. I need to bring some back to my life, especially while I'm drunk. It seems appropriate. I don't even know what the point of that story was. The point of that story is I have had a small amount of whiskey on an empty stomach, and we're feeling great. And that is going to be it. Next week I'll be back with the next mission. And it'll be the same thing, chill for 15 minutes, play some video game, and then chill for 15. And I'm just going to keep monitoring the quality, making sure it is consistent, basically throughout all of these, which, we're basically already just about halfway there. It's not where we're, yeah, that was mission 4, mission 7 is the smack dab middle part. So, we're already approaching the halfway point, and hopefully, if everything stays good, everything feels good, everything keeps on keeping on, we will be ready for the campaign when it comes time. But yeah, guys, I will talk to y'all later. I mean, I guess for this it's next week, but I'm gonna be playing more video games and watching more One Piece tomorrow. So, what game am I playing tomorrow? Is it Mega Man? Yeah, I think it's Mega Man. Mega Man Battle Network. Ooh, yeah. All right. Take it easy, guys.